seems to me day one, it's not a simple fix, but the fix is obvious. What Donald Trump has to do on day one regarding the southern border, which is re-implement Remain in Mexico and begin building the wall, rebuilding the wall again. What else does he have to do, and what can Congress do to reinforce border security?
Well, we will have a huge part of H.R. 2, and you'll remember from last Congress, H.R. 2 was my bill and Jim Jordan's bill that we merged together to get border security and immigration security issues taken care of. A big chunk of that will be in the reconciliation bill that comes in the first, 100 and 150 days of the administration. And that will get us Congress's side of that, which is the authorizing laws that allow the department to execute border security. That will happen. I mean, we're briefing on it tomorrow amongst fellow Republicans, but that's sort of Congress's piece. What the president's got to do is just what he did last time, executive orders that shut the border, that direct detention of people who come across the border. We have to stop working with these NGOs that are essentially selling the sovereignty of this country away. And so the list is long. It's probably going to be a combined 10 to 15 executive orders that happen as soon as he gets in there. In fact, I'm meeting with Tom Homan today to discuss some of that stuff. So, long list. You mentioned Remain in Mexico. There are also the agreements that allow us to return people to those countries. Those have to be restarted. We're on it. We've got our list of to-do things, and we're knocking them off.
I know that there seems to be a conversation going on within the Republican Party, and it's a very difficult topic to deal with, but a lot of folks have been advocating for a ban on TikTok. You've got President Trump now that he is trying to step in and try and negotiate some sort of solution here. We all know that China is a big-time threat to America. Do you think that Congress and President Trump and the Republicans were able to come together on this?
I do believe that we will come together with a solution, and I think President Trump is trying to thread the needle. He doesn't want Facebook and Meta and those companies to not have competition. He sees TikTok as a competitor, but he also recognizes the threat that it is in its current structure, being owned by a Chinese parent company that falls under the 2017 security law in China that requires those companies to give all their data to China, the Communist Party, right? So he gets the threat, but he also recognizes that Facebook, who owned that they followed the direction of the former White House, of the current administration, and restricted free speech, throttled that. They admitted all that. So Trump wants a competitor to Facebook. I think his original plan from last time he was in the White House of having an American company take over, own it, might be the solution we get to. I don't know. But you understand his motivation. Our motivation is that this is a threat. I mean, we got China in our telecoms. We've got China now hacking the Treasury Department just a few weeks ago. This is a hostile country to the United States. We have to act on this and protect Americans' data.
Has there been, it's been a minute since you and I have spoken, but obviously you've been kept abreast of all these drones off of the coast of New Jersey and in other places across America. There was, these drones around the some nuclear sites as well, it was reported. So, and then it kind of dropped off the face of the earth. Where is that story? What's going on with the drones, if anything?
Well, clearly, there isn't enough transparency from DOD, DOJ, and DHS on this issue. I will tell you that from our standpoint in Congress, passing my drone bill to grant authority to local law enforcement and states to take down drones, it's going to be one of my number one priorities for next Congress, because DHS, DOD, those guys can't be everywhere at one time. But local law enforcement with the right criteria, with the right equipment, can disable a drone and take it down and then find out what it is. We know that Chinese nationals have operated drones inside our country. We just arrested a guy a few weeks ago who had flown one over our space base out in California. So we need more transparency on this current issue. We're still not getting it. We're still demanding it. And we've got to pass this legislation of mine that will grant authority to local and state law enforcement, because that is ultimately going to be the protection line for the country.